Safety Shorts by Keenan presents Defensive Driving Awareness. Meet Pete. Pete keeps his car as clean as his driving record, not so much as a ding. Meet Rita, a longtime driver who keeps her car as spotty as her driving record. She has been pulled over 23 times for speeding and 17 times for reckless endangerment, 6 of which were for drag racing. Races, as legend has it, she always wins. The first thing Pete does when entering his car is to move his seat to the proper position, align all the mirrors to ensure proper lines of sight, and check his fuel gauge to make sure he has sufficient gas. He enjoys listening to the radio at a reasonable volume. 9 and 3, safe as can be, Pete says to himself as he puts his hands on the steering wheel and pulls carefully into traffic. Meanwhile, Rita is on her way to a music gig where she is playing lead guitar in her death metal band, Senior Rita. Would you mind turning it down a little? She is running late, so she puts the pedal to the metal, which, incidentally, was the title track of her last album. Pete takes driving safety very seriously. Teaching physics day in and day out reminds Pete that momentum equals mass times velocity. In other words, cars can become very dangerous at high speeds. He also knows that when it comes to driving, the best offense is a good defense. He might be a safe driver, but he shares the road with all sorts of drivers, good and bad. Speaking of bad drivers, Rita is texting her bandmates that despite her impressive momentum, she will be running late. Even though she uses 2 hands to text, she manages a way to honk at the car in front of her. Someone behind Pete is honking and gesturing to him inappropriately. Pete can tell that there is not a 3-second gap worth of space between him and the car following close behind. "Slow down," Pete yells to his rearview mirror. "What's the rush?" The tailgater keeps getting closer. Pete just wants to go home safely, so he pulls over and lets the woman pass, which she does, very quickly and signaling to him with another rude gesture. Pete continues on his way and makes it home to a warm dinner. Rita, on the other hand, was last seen jumping an open bridge while being chased by police. For Pete's sake, and for the sake of everyone else on the road, please keep in mind the following tips for defensive driving awareness. Tip number 1, make sure your car is ready for the road. This includes checking tire pressure, oil level, windshield washer fluid, gas level, mirrors, and fluid leaks. Tip number 2, be aware of the conditions around you. This includes light, weather, road conditions, and traffic. Tip number 3, eliminate distractions, such as using your cell phone, eating, reading, writing, and wearing headphones. Tip number 4, the 3-second rule. Under perfect conditions, there should be 3 seconds between you and the car you are following. If driving conditions are poor, add more distance between cars. Tip number 5, control your emotions by avoiding tailgaters and allowing aggressive drivers to pass. Thank you. Remember Pete's motto, when it comes to driving, the best offense is a good defense.